The midnight shift at Highway 17 petrol pump. The job ad was simple. Night shift attendant needed at Highway 17 fuel stop. Good pay, isolated location, no experience required. I was broke, fresh out of college with no prospects, so I took it. The owner, an old man named Mr. Harlan, handed me the keys and a laminated sheet of paper during our brief meeting in his cluttered office. "Follow these rules," he said, his voice raspy like dry leaves. "Every night, no exceptions, or you won't last." I laughed it off. Rules for pumping gas? Sounded like corporate nonsense. But as I read them under the flickering fluorescent light, a chill settled in my gut. The rules for survival. 1. The station opens at dusk and closes at dawn. Never open early or stay late. 2. Only serve customers who arrive in vehicles with engines running. If the engine is off and they push the car in, do not approach. Lock the doors and turn off the lights. 3. Never look directly at the security mirrors after midnight. They show things that aren't there yet. 4. If a customer asks for the special fuel, refuse politely and say, "We're out." Do not argue. 5. Count the pumps every hour. There should always be 4. If there are 5, do not go outside until sunrise. 6. If you hear whistling from the woods behind the station, ignore it. Whistling back invites them closer. 7. Customers must pay in cash or card at the window. Never let anyone inside the booth after 2 a.m. 8. If the phone rings and the caller ID says Harlan, do not answer. He's been dead for 10 years. 9. At 3 a.m. exactly, check the restroom mirrors. If your reflection blinks out of sync, leave immediately and hide in the storage closet until 4 a.m. 10. Never, under any circumstances, pump fuel for a black sedan with no license plate. It doesn't need gas. I pocketed the rules and drove out to the station that first night. Highway 17 was a forgotten stretch, cutting through dense forest, miles from the nearest town. The petrol pump sat alone under buzzing neon lights. 4 ancient pumps lined up like sentinels. The isolation was eerie. The road winding into darkness on both sides, trees pressing close like they were listening. My first few nights were uneventful. Truckers pulling in for diesel, weary travelers grabbing snacks. I followed the rules out of caution, chuckling at how paranoid they seemed. But on the 4th night, things changed. Around 1 a.m., a car rolled in silently. No engine rumble. It was an old pickup, coasting to a stop at pump 2. The driver, a gaunt man in overalls, waved me over. "Engine off, rule 2. I stayed in the booth, heart pounding, and flicked off the exterior lights. He knocked on the glass, pleading, "Just a gallon to get home." But I pretended not to see. After 10 minutes, he pushed the truck back onto the road and vanished into the night. I didn't sleep that shift. The next night at midnight, I glanced up at the security mirrors out of habit. Rule 3 be damned! In the convex glass overlooking the pumps, I saw myself in the booth, but behind me stood a tall, shadowy figure, thin as a rake, no face, just darkness. I whipped around, nothing. When I looked back, the mirror was empty, but I swear I felt breath on my neck. I started counting the pumps obsessively. 4, always 4, until one stormy night at 2:30 a.m. I stepped out for a smoke. Break. Bad idea, and counted. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. A 5th pump had appeared at the end, rusted and dripping something dark. No nozzle, just a hose ending in a jagged mouth-like opening. Rule 5. I bolted back inside, locked the door, and waited. Thunder crashed. Through the rain-streaked window, shapes moved between the pumps, tall, elongated figures whistling softly. Rule 6. I clamped my hands over my ears, but the tune wormed in. An old nursery rhyme, twisted and slow. The rules were taped to my booth wall now, yellowed and worn. A week in, a woman in a red coat pulled up. Beautiful, pale, smiling too wide. "Fill it with the special fuel," she said through the intercom. "Rule 4. "We're out," I replied, voice steady. Her smile faltered. "You sure? It's the one that burns forever." I hit the silent alarm, though who it called I didn't know, and turned away. When I looked back, her car was gone, but the pump nozzle was slick with something red. The worst came on my 10th shift, 3 a.m. sharp. I checked the restroom as per Rule 9, stupidly thorough now. In the cracked mirror, my reflection stared back, then blinked slowly while I held still. It grinned, teeth too sharp. I ran to the storage closet, barricaded the door with shelves, and huddled in the dark until 4 a.m. passed. But the climax hit 2 nights later. The phone rang at 2:45 a.m. Caller ID, Harlan. Rule 8. I let it ring. Voicemail picked up. A gravelly voice. "You're doing good, kid." But tonight, watch for the sedan. Click. Minutes later, headlights pierced the fog. A black sedan, sleek and silent, no plates. It stopped at pump 3. The driver didn't get out. The fuel gauge on my console spiked, tank filling itself. Rule 10. I froze. The doors unlocked on their own. Whistling from the woods grew louder. In the mirrors, dozens of shadowy figures gathered. The 5th pump reappeared. Then a knock at the booth window. Pale faces pressed against the glass. Previous attendants. Eyes hollow, mouths whispering the rules I'd broken in thought. I grabbed the rule sheet, tore it, and screamed defiance. Big mistake. The lights went out. When backup power kicked in, the booth was empty. My uniform hung on the chair, stained. The logbook's last entry, in my handwriting but not my words. New attendant starts tomorrow. Give him the rules. If you're reading this, you applied for the job on Highway 17. Follow the rules. Everyone, or join us out here, waiting for the next tank to fill.